What up, Buzz? You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap, Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty, Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery, nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news, go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose, tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I'm your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, and we're here to talk about a weekend where the Bulls just kick some major ass on the West Coast, which does not happen very often. Does not happen very often that we actually get some dubs on the West Coast, but it happened this weekend, and the Bulls pulled themselves within 2 games of 500. Before we get into this one, be sure to go to ontapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap, at OnTapSportsNet. Following Goose at Goose on Tap and me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. If you are on Facebook or Twitter, please go over to the YouTube channel, On Tap Sportsnet YouTube. Subscribe, hit the little bell anytime we go live. You'll be notified. We are brought to you by Sports Illustrated Media Group. Goose, it's a pregame today because the Bulls play in an hour and 15 minutes, and we're doing a pregame because Chai Sports said I was old, which he's not wrong.
Well, and you'll probably be in bed in an hour and 30 minutes. So, I mean, the earliest you get up, 10 o'clock is like 2 o'clock for you. So,
yeah,
we're getting in a pregame show, which is weird. Talked about potentially doing a Sunday fun day yesterday to recap the game Friday and the Sunday game that I was only able to catch parts of while at work. Luckily, my lunch and my last break lined up with the second quarter and the end of the game. So I did get to see most of the highlights. Friday night's game, we played Bulls legend Ryan Arcidiacono, and we pretty much got to get a look at what a featured offense around your boy Shaedon Sharpe would be. So,
I've been that's the thing, man. I've been telling you about him. I watched him in college, and he's a good player. I think that he has the potential to be a very good player in this league, and I really think he has. This might be the last shot for Damian Lillard to have a running mate if they can get the development on this kid. The timelines are just so far off there, which sucks for them. But
I can't even lie, buddy. Can you put a team around Dame Lillard that's a championship contender?
Oh, no, because the point guard can't be the best player in the team. Not anymore. Please, I mean, if we're going to classify Luka as a point guard, then I guess, okay, I'm wrong. But some people don't.
So, I mean, to me, Luka's a point forward. There's a difference. He's going to get you a lot more rebounds than Dame is going to. He can operate in different areas of the floor. Draws a different kind of attention. I just feel like at this point, it's like beating a dead horse with, is Portland ever going to put a team around Dame? They've done everything to put a team around the dude. Their window has gone past Nurkic. The only spot that I feel they really need improvement is the center spot. You've got Anthony Simons, who easily stepped in for McCollum there to kind of take that role. They have good defensive wings. They have Cam Reddish. They have Sharp. They've got Matisse Thybulle. Like, what the hell more does Dame need to have a winning basketball team?
Yeah, no, that's probably fair. That's probably a fair statement. And Chai Sports fan kind of got me there about the Steph Curry thing, but he's not winning shit this year, so don't worry about it. And I'll never be nice about Steph Curry because that's my little brother's favorite player. And, I have to do that big brother shit and say, I told him, look up Steph Curry's career numbers against Kirk Heinrich. They ain't good.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
Hey.
We went there, didn't we?
Oh, of course I did. What the fuck else am I good for? Not much.
How old was Steph when Kirk was in the league? Like 20?
No, yeah, oh yeah, I get it. No, he was like in his mid-20s.
He played like, 8 games total against each other?
Yeah, that's enough sample size to know Kirk owned him.
Oh,
All right, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm a terrible person and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Good thing I have a basketball podcast. But yeah, so
no, but back to the Portland game. The Bulls handled that pretty easily.
Yeah, they did.
A 30-point win, which they handled business the way they were supposed to. That Lakers game, though, there's nothing that makes me smile bigger than spoiling LeBron's return. And the cherry on top was our boy Pat Bev hitting him with the too small in the fourth quarter. Oh, you too small. Wow. Was that a moment?
I wrote an article today over at ontapsports.com. And I'm not even gonna bullshit you, dude. Like, since Pat's got here, I try to do an article a day during the week. That's what I really try to do, is an article a day during the week. And I feel like recently at least 2 of those articles are surrounding Patrick Beverley. Of just something that he did, something that he said. And today, kind of in the basis of that article, had a lot to do with his Lakers game, because not only was Anthony Davis asked about Patrick Beverley's comments the night before that game took place,
and he said, watch him come and try to take it. Come on.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Pat Bev went nuts or anything, but the way he's been kind of orchestrating and giving the energy to the team has been something that we didn't see all year. Goose kicked his computer, and I forgot to do the thing Brian told me again. I'm sorry, Brian, if you're watching this. But I'm super surprised that Pat Bev has been able to turn this team around the way that he has, and it's pretty nuts. Bill Simmons actually gave them a lot of credit. If you missed what I said, Bill Simmons gave them a lot of credit on his podcast, talking about how the Bulls are like sneaky looking really good. I mean, they're top since Pat Bev's arrival, 15 games. Not only is Zach LaVine averaging almost damn near 34-4, he's also shooting like over 50% from 2 and 45% from 3 and over 87% from the free throw line.
So is Zach one of your top 5 favorite players yet?
On the Bulls?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'll see how the season ends out. I'm not there. See, everybody's there, and that's what they like to do, because there's a recency bias. And even the people that were like questioning exactly what I have been saying the whole time earlier, when the train wreck was happening and we were doing a fucking post game show after every one of those train wrecks, now they're back on he's the man. I'm like looking back, I'm like, oh my god, his value is skyrocketing. That's where I'm at right now. So if it continues and I feel like he could keep doing this, let's see it against Harder. This is a huge push for Zach LaVine, and more than one reason. Not only is he trying to push him to the fucking playoffs, he's the guy doing it.
Yeah, no, DeMar has kind of taken a back seat.
He has.
Facilitator obviously sat out the Portland game with the quad injury. More, precautionary than anything in that game with the matchup that we had at hand. But he's been taking a little bit of a back seat since the All-Star break. I don't know if that's a Billy thing, if that's just Zach's play dictating the way that Billy is approaching the game now.
I feel like that changed, Goose. I feel like it changed when that article came out from KC Johnson for NBC Sports Chicago. When asked in the locker room, Goodwill was there. Goose did it again. God damn, Goose, what are you doing out here, homie? But Vinny Goodwill, KC Johnson, Joe Colley, all those guys were in there. And Pat said about Zach, like, I don't want you to pass the ball. I want you to shoot the ball. You're a scorer. That is your job. Hey, and, it was just like, that is what I felt like turned everything around. I really do. Zach deserves a lot of credit, but I feel like Pat gave Zach the confidence to be the guy. And I feel that way. But since he's arrived, those 15 games, Goose, top 10 in offensive efficiency, net rating, and top 5 in defensive efficiency. This team, if you have a top fucking 5 and 10 team for a large enough sample size, that's what we had last year for a little bit.
Well, and right now we're peaking at the time that you want to peak at, as opposed to last year, where it was the 35 games out the gate that got us hot and heavy. Obviously, there's been a lot of turmoil and drama throughout this season, but to close, the Bulls are putting it together when it matters most. Obviously, the biggest change is the Pat Bev addition. I do think, as we talked with Drew when he was with us on the show, Zach gets a little bit of a kick out of proving people wrong and making people eat their words. I think the combination of that with him actually being put on the trading block and the Bulls answering phone calls about him was a nice wake-up call. And now you have somebody who's going to keep these stars in place. closest thing we had to that previously was Caruso, and he's vocal and he's a leader, but I don't think he brings the kind of.
I think Patrick Beverley runs the point guard position better than Alex Caruso does.
Yeah. I mean, but I think it comes more down to the locker room and just Pat Bev's approach.
No, that too.
Caruso's hard-headed, and he's going to give you 130% every single play.
100%.
But Pat Bev's going to do that while talking shit, and he ain't going to let the team get that momentum and keep it because he's going to talk shit to the crowd. He's going to tell LeBron that he's too short.
And that's the best. Like I said, that's the best thing is when you brought up this game. They were talking about Pat Bev before the game. They're talking about Pat Bev during the game. Well, I mean, on the main broadcast, even on the Lakers broadcast, they're like, oh, Patrick Beverley said that, it's his goal to get the Bulls into the playoffs, and it's his goal to make sure the Lakers don't get in the playoffs. And listen, man, you don't hear a lot of players talk shit like that anymore, if at all. It's something respectable. It's something fun to root for. And
so on that note,
we're 2 games under 500.
On that note, Sharman post,
That's
planned or not planned?
That was so planned. He's full of shit. He forgot my ass. He wanted to make sure they won that fucking game, and that's exactly what he did. He made sure they won that game, and he put the Sharman post. Goose is falling out of here like a mug today. I apologize. I'm sure he will too eventually. I'm taking a drink anyway. I don't care. I've got this free ad here. Ice. If anybody knows this company, tell them that I want them to sponsor me because I love this drink. It's fantastic. It's my lemonade. He's back in the house. You keep kicking something? What's going on?
No, I am actually sitting as still as a dead person in this chair, so nothing happens while you sleep tonight at 10 o'clock during the game. I'm going to be putzing with this wire because even trying to get on the call with you originally, nothing. It just kept kicking out. So you might lose me another 3 or 4 times.
That's okay, man. We never claimed to be professional here. Actually, yes, we did, but we signed out with Sports Illustrated, but that's their fault for trusting me. All right. So anyway, my man, what's up, Juice? So I don't want to break up the Zach Pat talk, but how about that soft ass Vooch rejection? This comes from Chai Sports Fan. I'll get that reps ACO. You motherfucker.
No, I mean,
that was stupid as shit.
Especially after the game when it's let out, and even during the game, that when Vooch is pissed, he's cursing in Serbian. So unless these refs are bilingual to the extent of knowing Serbian, you don't even know what he's saying. So how can you tee him up twice that quick?
No, well, did the NBA ever send that?
I don't know.
One tech?
I mean, I'd like to think that they would because that's money out of that man's pocket when he really didn't deserve it, on top of having to sit out a very important game that luckily Andre Drummond answered to. But in that moment, in that second quarter, as the Lakers are making this run and Vooch gets tossed out of the game, you're going, oh, shit, here we go. We're going to have this third quarter bullshit happen again. We don't have our starting center. We're playing Anthony Davis. We're screwed. And I feel Vooch's frustration came in the jump ball that was called on the other end.
Yeah.
There was ball, but both AD and LeBron made contact with him as well as the ball on that jump ball call. And he blocks the shit out of LeBron and catches the side of his head in the follow-through. And obviously we know that's generally reviewed for a flagrant with the way the league calls things. But to be so completely different in the call within 2 or 3 minutes, he was just livid. He was still hot from that call. And then the same exact thing happens on the other end, granted to the league's golden boy. And now you're getting tossed out of the game for cursing in Serbian.
Yeah, that was the biggest bullshit I've seen. Stacy and Adam were not pleased about it. Billy Donovan made his comments on it. I will say, and I've said this on the show before, and I know you agreed with it, this has been one of the worst years of NBA officiating that I can remember. When Juice was actually here, I don't know if he's still in here or not, but when he was here a couple weekends ago, we were talking about that, about how the officiating looks different than it did before. I don't know what the problem is, but these guys need to be held accountable like the players are.
Free throw discrepancy through the last 10 to 15 games. The Lakers have taken almost 150 more free throws than everybody else.
No shit.
That's insane.
Come on, man. There's narrative.
LeBron is out. Austin Reeves is now an NBA star.
Hey, that kid balls, man.
Hey, he balls, but me and you could get 20 points a game if you put me on the line 25 times.
That's also very true. Yeah, the fact that Austin Reeves is getting a ton, he did it again. The fact that Austin Reeves is getting a ton of free throw opportunities. I know it didn't happen against the Bulls, but it does keep happening for him. It is wild in itself. And I do want to go around and touch back on that Anthony Davis thing. Welcome back. You brought how you were talking about Anthony Davis. He played a shit game against us. 6 for 8 from the field when they needed him. Anthony, I don't know, man.
So
I know he hurt his hand, jammed his hand up a little bit, but my God, man.
He always hurts his hand. I feel this is more of LeBron coming back on short notice, and the Lakers were rolling without LeBron. You had that video where they pretty much read lips, and he's telling Lonnie Walker, with or without Bron, we're making a finals run this year. I think Anthony Davis wants it to be his team. He's kind of tired of the LeBron show, in my opinion. Obviously, that doesn't excuse a performance where you threatened your old teammate to come in and take it from you, and then you laid an egg. But I feel there's a lot going on under the surface when it comes to AD and LeBron, going both ways, because I'm sure Bron's not thrilled with his availability. But Bron hasn't been available the last 13 games leading up to that until he went and saw the LeBron James of feet, as he said. Like, what?
What a fucking dude. Like, that's not even arrogant. Because people are like, that's so arrogant. I'm like, no, that's fucking cheesy, man. No, that's dorky.
That's just cornball central, and that's all this guy does.
That's all that is. That's dorky.
His Twitter fingers get going. I was like, Bron, you are one of, if not the greatest by argument players ever. And you have to cornball yourself up so often, it just takes away from all of it. Just leave it alone.
That's what he does, man. That's his thing, man.
People talk for you.
Right.
Let your greatness speak for itself. Stop lifting yourself up. I'm tired of it.
I do want to give credit to a Laker for that game, though. I want to give TBJ credit, man. He stepped up against the Bulls. He stepped up against his former team. He hit a couple big shots there. 4 for 9 from downtown. He played some good defense. He was plus in the plus minus when he was out on the court in his 32 minutes.
He was looking like a guy that was worthy of trading your rim protector and Daniel Gafford for. That was something that we didn't see.
You know what? I like that you said that, because it did. He did look worthy of a trade of that kind of caliber. That's fair as fuck. That's really fair, because that is what they thought they were getting. I don't know why it did not click here like that, and I know that was an abnormally good game for him.
But he's been pretty good for them.
But he's been pretty good for the Lakers this year. He was way better for the Lakers than he's been for us, or than he was for us.
He's playing over Rui Hachimura, who they sent like 5 second-round picks for. So,
yeah, dude, he didn't even get in. It was a coach's decision he didn't play. A couple shout-outs on the Bulls. Obviously, you kind of brought up Drummond. I want to give him his plus 20 flowers in his 18 minutes, 12 points, 8 boards, 2 steals. That missed Euro step and him getting fucking swatted was hilarious. But he played a really, really good game. Kobe White shot very poorly, but he did some good shit. And Flowers got to keep going to this kid. Defense, hustle, court vision.
No, the way he's been playmaking in this last stretch here, Billy's been trusting him with the ball a little bit more, which allows him to create for himself and others. And in terms of that combination, probably only DeMar on the team is better at doing both. And Kobe has that speed and quickness in that first step. And when he's hitting threes, Kobe is an elite player off the bench. Him and Pat together have been playing really well together. Kobe has definitely played himself into a contract extension this season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his play is probably also going to cost the Bulls a little bit of money, because they're not going to be the only team interested.
Definitely not the only team interested. I definitely think there's going to be a problem with the restricted free agency sheet. But it is while he has improved defensively this year, he has still had some blunders. And I kind of do actually agree with you, because I think that you think that offensive explosion can, if he could put all of that together, he's a problem. I mean, if he could do both of them consistently, he is a problem. So yeah, he probably will cost. He'll probably cost more than the Bulls want to pay, but I'm pretty sure they're probably going to do it. If like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to lose Io.
As much as everybody likes to talk about this team and ownership being cheap, with not using the full mid-level this year to be more competitive. Not that I felt there was a player out there in that mid-level tier that wanted to come here that really would have made a difference for the beginning of this season. going into the luxury tax is an option they will have. With bird rights, you can go above the cap and you can retain your players. It's how Golden State has such a high salary cap sheet. The Bulls do have the option, regardless of what their cap number is, that they can match that contract last and keep Kobe on their roster. So it will be really interesting to see how much they value this core roster, what the plan really is. I mean, I guess at the very least, Kobe White's putting himself in sign and trade value kind of territory as well.
This is where the waters got muddy from a bunch of different angles here. You know, you're talking to us 3 weeks ago on our podcast, and I'm still this way, and I know it's not going to happen now because we're too far gone, so we might as well just fucking get in there and see what we could do. But 3 weeks ago, I'm sitting here, tank. 2 weeks ago, please. Like, we're going to lose anyway. We're going to lose out anyway. Even if we get in, we might be fucked, you know, and I get that. And like, that's the playoffs. But when you're clawing for a play-in spot, that feels like horrible. It's not like clawing for an 8th seed where you get yourself a chance to get in the fucking dance. You're clawing for a chance in the dance. And
even the 8th seed right now is still just a chance in the dance.
Well, that's very true. Because of the play-in, right? That's what I said in the past when I feel like you're going for an AC seed, because that was the actual playoffs. With this play-in, I hate the fucking play-in. This shit pisses me off so bad. But anyway, the Bulls are
they're a half game behind the Hawks.
They are a half game behind Atlanta for the 8th seed, and
we play Atlanta next Tuesday.
And you kind of see how this looks now. At least if you're Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley, you're like, I'm happy it's turned around.
I'm happy I wasn't entirely wrong, but now what the fuck do I do?
Right. And it's just like, and for me, I'm still like, yo, come on. I've seen this before. I've seen these little runs. I've seen it. You got, it's not going to work. But another part of me is like, oh, shit, Zach's balling.
So
does he just need a point guard?
I think Zach balling almost makes the decision easier, though, because...
Are you talking about for, like, him and DeMar? Or?
Yeah, I mean, in general. I mean, Vooch we don't really know, like, what kind of money this guy's going to be looking at from other teams. You look around the league, most teams have their center in place.
He's having a very good year, too. So think about that.
But center is the position that teams are willing to pay the least for.
I know.
Almost let DeAndre Ayton, their number 1 overall pick, walk because of it. Christian Wood is probably going to be an unrestricted free agent that gets some attention at that center power forward spot. And in this league, obviously, he's big enough to play that 5. So teams are just very reluctant to give money to centers. I find it hard to believe that Vooch is going to have $18 to $20 million offers from contending teams. And the young teams aren't going to want to pay you that.
So basically, he just kicked the cord again. So basically what he is saying is that they don't want to fucking pay him $18 to $20 million on a good team. So a bad team ain't going to pay him either. Because why would they? Why would you spend all of that money doing that? It's a good point. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about Vooch. Go ahead and finish your thought. Welcome back. You're on mute now. You can't even unmute your mic now. It's just muted. You're just completely muted.
I guess I'm not allowed to talk. You can't see my face. You can't.
You're talking now. Now he's gone again. This is a horrible technical difficulty. Thank you for staying with us, because this is not what was supposed to happen. He's having a hard time over there. So I'm just going to keep drinking. This is delicious. Classic lemonade. You guys got to buy this shit. # free ads on Bulls on Tap.
Hey, at least my mic wasn't muted this time.
This has never happened to you that bad, so I feel kind of bad it's happening.
Yeah, no, like I said, while you were asleep, we were going to deal with the technical difficulties on our end, so the play-in podcasts go much smoother. We can't have the camera cutting out mid-pickle juice chug, so no, I just find it hard to believe that Vooch is going to have a lot of $15 to $20 million offers on the market, so I don't know what his market is going to look like. I don't know that there's that much value in a sign-in trade, because any team that's willing to pay that much for him is going to be looking to get him for free.
What do you think is fair? 12 to 15 million or 15 to 17 million?
Obviously, as a fan, I want to say 12 to 15, but 15 to 17 is probably more realistic.
I'd probably do it.
but we're not talking more than 2 years, maybe
No.
1 year guaranteed, 1 year team option, depending, to line it up with DeMar.
Because if you think that you can compete and you just want to tweak this and the retool that everybody was calling for because they didn't want to blow it up, I think Vooch needs to be back.
I mean, he is such a centerpiece.
He's a fucking double machine, and he shoots 35 to 36% from three. Okay.
So, no, that's not a guy you can let walk for free, but I just don't know where the Bulls are getting this money. Unless you're trading DeMar in a cap dump style trade where you're getting positive assets back as well that you can see as rotational players, I don't know how you free up that money.
Yeah, that's true too. No, this is going to be a bitch. I don't know what they're going to do when it comes to the offseason.
But ultimately, I do think Zach's play makes it easier for them to make these moves because you have your guy. To start this season, DeMar was your guy. You were still unsure of Zach. So if he finishes this season the way that he's been playing post All-Star break into the play-in,
since December, really, he's been on fire. Not on fire. I mean, he's hit lulls, but he has been damn consistent since December.
But Zach proving himself, I think, makes it easier to make decisions than it does to lock into this continuity. When you locked into the continuity, you were still waiting to see if the guy that you gave that max bag to could be that dude. And at this point, you're using DeMar as a facilitator. Obviously, he's still going and getting you 20 plus as well. But I do think there's ways that they can construct this roster around Zach as long as this is the play that continues. Zach has played more minutes this year than he has pretty much throughout his career.
Yeah, this is actually a career high in minutes for him. It's a career high in games, too.
So, I mean, and that's what you want from your max player. He's coming off an injury, and he's playing more minutes and he's playing more games than he's ever played in his career. So I think your confidence at this point right now with Zach has to be extremely high. Obviously, you can't make any moves until the offseason anyway. But I do think Zach's play makes it easier to retool around him than it is a full tear down, rebuild, blow up. And I think you got to work your magic and keep Patrick Beverley around on a veteran's minimum or some kind of mid-level exception.
I'm very curious about Patrick Beverley and what's going to happen with him after the end of the season. I'm just being 100% honest with you.
Do you think his impact is great enough that he makes Caruso an expendable asset?
I love Alex Caruso. I really do. If we were a championship team, that might be a different answer. But I don't think we are. I've always been fine with Caruso.
No, every time he misses a game or gets injured, I cry about the value that we could have had at the deadline.
Right. I mean, I love Caruso, but he is not that much of a game changer when you don't know what you are. And that's a problem. He's not good enough to be a starter. I know he gets a lot of starts for us, and he has been a part of this awesome rotation that we have right now, but I need a bigger sample size than this. His availability is a question mark not because he's made of glass, it's because he fucking kills himself every game. And I will not take anything away from Alex Caruso. He's one of the hardest fucking players I've ever seen. That guy does not care who's coming at him, does not give a shit. He'll put his body on the line, whether it's taking a charge from Joel Embiid or LeBron James, jumping into the crowd to save a ball. I mean, he's nuts. I give him all the credit in the world. I like Alex Caruso, but the whole
value that he has on that contract is really hard to hold on to when you're in the spot that the Bulls are in.
Right. That's what I mean. So, and we're so guard heavy.
And you got to find money somewhere. So right. I think Caruso is a contract that you can move to a team in the offseason without having to take much salary, if any salary back at all.
Oh, in the offseason, you can make a lot of shit happen.
Which with as much criticism as we've given the front office throughout this season, that is the one thing that they have proven that they are very good at is sign-in trades, making the numbers work, making things happen that don't look possible on paper, working the cap rules to their favor and making changes. Though we haven't seen many of those changes since their first season and a half here. We locked into continuity. But going into this offseason, you have to feel with this window all but closed on these three alphas, so to speak, that there is probably going to be some major moves.
Yeah, I still think
would you want to go get Dame Lillard? if you could find a 3-team deal where a team was interested in taking like DeMar and Vooch, they were going to send picks to Portland. You sent whatever picks that don't have the Stepien rules involved. Maybe rework Portland's protection on that pick, or maybe even just send them their own fucking first back and remove those protections and relift their handcuffs for the next 5 years. Because I don't know how I feel about that. Zach and Dame,
I don't think
a combo that I want.
I don't think I want. I don't want to see Dame and Zach in the same backcourt.
That sounds stupid to say, but I don't really think that Dame Lillard's a target that I'd want the Bulls.
I think that hampers Zach's development.
And at this point, I think I'd rather have Zach's long-term contract in his prime than Dame's $40 million contract.
I think it'd be fun as fuck. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it might be fun, but I'm not. But again, Zach being the best player on a team, like, yeah. So so break it down here. Out of a fun aspect, yes, that would be fucking nuts because it's fun. And I have a future Hall of Famer on my team. He's 32. He's still balling. He's one of the best shooters in the league. It's not in a shooting league, and it's not close. But he can't help get his team to the playoffs right now, and he's got some talent around him. Yep, Zach and him play very similar games, at least volume scoring wise. So I don't know what works with Zach. That's the thing. It seems to be a defensive-minded point guard that can find his teammates. Is the team where Zach flourishes, and the team can count on him to come out and just have these crazy shooting nights on just absolute insane percentages. And even saying shooting over 54% from the fucking 2-point range. He's a shooting guard. Shooting 45% since Pat Bev has got here from 3.
The damn near logo Levine, little fake on LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron didn't bite. And then he put it up and put it in, and Bron just put his head down and said, "Yep, we're done. This is over."
Dame's also 32. And now I need something. I'm telling you now, I need role players around those two. If we were to even do, I know this is just a fun bullshit conversation, but I need at least 2 hard fucking nose defenders. So, one being a center, one being obviously my 3.
So we're bringing Jimmy Butler home?
Oh my Lord. No, I wouldn't do that at all.
You wouldn't do that?
Fuck no.
What?
Nope.
What? You wouldn't want Jimmy Buckets back.
No.
You put Pat Bev, Zach LaVine, and Jimmy Buckets on the floor. I think you got a very tenacious team.
I think I got a team that doesn't win a championship.
I don't know that there's a team you can put around Zach with the pieces that we have left that wins a championship.
You call the captain. We'll see. I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding. No, I'm scarred.
Nah, Jimmy can will his team to win on his own. His team's in the playoffs. They're going to make a decent run regardless. Nobody ever wants to see Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. Kirk Heinrich.
I'm scarred, man. I'm scarred because I wanted to see. I'm sorry, man. Like I had myself sold on young rebuild. Like that's where I was at. So right now, like yes, Jimmy Butler would be a great compliment, I think, to Zach because Jimmy can kind of, you have a couple defenders in there. Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be fun as fuck. But if you're talking about this Dame scenario, I need at least 2 to 3 defenders in there that are nuts.
I only brought up the Dame scenario to hear you confirm what I was feeling, and that's that I don't want to see that happen.
I like what Chai Sports Fan said.
I'm scared to move my mouse.
Okay, don't touch anything. For the love of God, please don't fucking move. I'll pull it up on the screen for you. Ready? He spelled Chris wrong. Dumbass.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
He spelled Chris Middleton. It's okay.
Yeah. No. Bring back Dunn. Chris Dunn Island, baby. Oh, and you know what, Goose? Right there, buddy. Or I'm sorry, Juice. Your guys' names are very similar.
We had this talk when On Tap started. Buzz, Juice, and Goose. Just has a little bit.
Man. That just rolls off the fucking tongue. We got to get Juice on here. That would be fun. Like throwback. Remember when you used to come on the Outcast? We would do that. That was fun. I had a good time. But no, I would love to have another star here, man. But I want it to work. And I just.
But of the stars, unless Paul George or Kawhi Leonard want out of LA, like what better wing 2-way star is there than Jimmy Butler that would be available?
There's not.
I mean, I guess you could say Anthony Davis potentially.
Yeah, that's great. Let's add fucking glass to glass. Right. Yeah, no problem. Let's just bring another guy with fucking issues everywhere over to the Chicago Bulls medical staff.
To our madness for the last 2 seasons.
I don't know, man. again, I had myself sold on like DeMar being moved and like for a potential like, you know, young upcomer. Like that's what I was kind of thinking at the time. And I don't know if that's going to happen.
So we send DeMar to Portland for Shaden Sharp, like we wanted to do at the deadline. Give Dame another star. Although, like we've touched
Jeremy
on,
Grant didn't commit, send him back, like match the contracts, get me that Shaden Sharp kid, and I'll be fucking happy, man.
So I almost forgot about Jeremy. They went and got Jeremy Grant too.
I know.
He ain't doing shit over there.
Dude, he was killing it for a little bit. I watched a ton of Portland ball. He was killing it for a little bit. They were up there for a minute, and then all of a sudden it took a nosedive, man.
Did his teammates get tired of listening to him talk about how this is his team and he's going to get a championship here?
If there's one thing, I know a lot of people rag on Dame about that. If there's one thing that I respect out of Dame, and I am not one of those guys like a player should stay where they were drafted. That's not me. But when we were young kids, and I've said this on the show before, I know Juice is in here. Those guys typically stayed with their fucking team.
Yeah, I mean, the greats that stick out in my head are Kobe, Dirk.
Kobe, Dirk, Tim Duncan. I mean, there's so many that just kind of tried to stay.
He's never run from the grind, and it compliment his team as well for never running from him and giving up on that dream, which looks like they might finally be at the end of that road come this offseason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Dame's got that championship gene. I don't know.
He might not, but yeah, he's cold-blooded as fuck, though. He's cold-blooded. He just can't be the best guy. That's all.
I think it comes down that it's more about Dame than it is the team.
It's a lot like why Kyrie can't be the best guy. I mean, holy fuck, his Dallas just tanked off too. Like that's some shit that's blown me away. Them dropping that shit to Charlotte, like, bruh.
Didn't they lose 2 in a row to Charlotte too?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, man. I was watching that. I'm like, I couldn't believe I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Michael Jordan is no longer selling the Hornets.
Oh my God, man. That was wild shit. But I don't know. They've got a lot to figure out. But I will say 36 and 38, these fucking fans of Bulls on Tap, which is the coolest thing ever that you guys come and hang out with us. I have to drink fucking pickle juice. It's going to happen. They're going to get to 500 before the season. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. And they're going to get into this fucking play.
Well, no. And our boy, look what Drew did on Twitter. If you don't follow him, most definitely go do that.
Yeah, look what Drew did.
Shared the remaining schedules of the Raptors, the Hawks, and the Bulls. And at least by what I can make out, the Bulls do have the easiest schedule.
Oh, my God.
Those teams, which could be a curse. But it's not even an easy schedule.
It just switches every 2 days.
I mean, and don't take that out of context. The Bulls still have a very tough schedule to finish the season. I just think the matchups for those other two teams are going to be just as difficult, if not a little bit harder. And the Bulls-Hawks matchup on the 4th may be the season make-or-break game, and that's Sox jersey night.
I will be there.
I'm going to be there, too. I'm not going to be there with you. I'm taking my coworker.
That's cool.
I'm going to see you there.
I wasn't going with you either.
We're going to embrace.
Hey, hang on real quick. Fuck you, buddy. I'm not going with you. Okay.
Hey,
no problem.
You slacked, bro. I offered you an extra Sox jersey. You said you'd think on it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get tickets.
I got tickets. Well, I actually haven't bought them yet. I will eventually because I'm lazy. But Ren's birthday is Saturday. She's turning 5. And I'm surprising her on Tuesday night. I'm going to get off of work, come straight home, grab her, head up to the UC. And
that makes me glad that I grabbed a coworker that I threw the party for on Friday to go with me, because now I don't feel like I'm interrupting. As much as a daddy, daughter, uncle surprise is kind of fun. She doesn't even know this uncle. So, it's all right. I'm glad I didn't ruin the moment. And I'm going to get to keep my Sox jersey with Levine's number on it, even though I'm not a Sox fan, because that's still just a badass piece of memorabilia.
I know, man. That jersey's so dope, too. Like, I don't even care about it.
I'm just hoping it's not some paper-thin bullshit.
They haven't been. I'll tell you what. The ones that they were giving out at the Sox games, those fucking basketball jersey-looking Sox jerseys, they're awesome. I mean, I got 2 of them. Like, they're very, very nice. So, I'm hoping it's like that, because if it's like that, I'll be wearing that all summer long. No doubt about it.
Yeah, no.
Juice, you son of a bitch. Look at him. Why you gotta come in here like that? I miss your face. You go to a wedding and ditch me this weekend, and that's cool, motherfucker. I see you. That's cool. What a dick. I'm upset.
The Sox can't play defense.
Okay, that's enough. All right. 36-38. We play the Clippers tonight at 9:30.
What's your prediction? We taking the dub?
I'm looking at the injury report right now.
So, but how does that determine your justification here? Like, if the Stars are playing, are we going to win because we're actually going to get up for the game?
Oh, they ruled Caruso out because he was questionable as of 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago. Maybe 15 minutes before the podcast started, he was questionable. He is now out, and Javante is also out. Brandon Boston Jr.'s out. Marcus Morris Sr.'s out. Norman Powell's out for the Clippers. And then obviously they do not have Paul George, right? Paul George is still out.
I feel like Powell's a sneaky missing piece there too.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's a sniper. He plays real well over there.
Do you think Pat Bev gets up extra tonight, being the second
former Clipper?
Former Clipper, but also the second ask to this dance. The Bulls very much wanted Russell Westbrook and settled for Pat Bev. Is he going to go out there tonight and try to eat Russ alive?
I'd love to see it. I mean,
I want to see him rock the cradle on Russ. That's what I want to see happen tonight.
I'll tell you what, man. Look at their team. This is who started for them last time against the Pelicans, their last game out. It was Russell Westbrook at the point guard, of course, Eric Gordon, Marcus Morris Sr., Kawhi, who, wow, did he play a shit game last time out, and Zubac. Their whole team is like 2011. 2012 shit.
See, but I do feel like they have a roster that should be a lot better than it is.
Well, they haven't been together. Kawhi had all that shit in the beginning of the season where he wasn't playing. And
they're missing our continuity.
And then Paul George is out. He hurt his knee again, so he's out. So, I mean, they're in trouble. This is a big
thing. A Bulls victory? Are we going to sleep? Or are we going to sweep the LAs? We can't get a 4-game win streak, but we can. No, we'd have to get a 4-game win streak to do that.
It's possible, man. I hate doing this because I always jinx myself. Yeah, they're gonna win tonight.
They're gonna win tonight.
They're gonna win tonight. They'll be 3 in a row, and then their next game is against the Lakers again. So they're gonna win tonight.
All right. Let's put this 4-game streak to the test. Let's get that W tonight and let the Lakers come on into Chicago and show them how sharp and soft they are again.
Maybe we'll get another fucking post from Pat Bev, huh? And everybody's making fun of me for being sleeping. I'm going to try really hard because there's sugar in it. Oh, it's actually 0 sugar in it. So that, never mind.
So Buzz is going to go grab a beer.
Yeah, I'm going to go get a beer for sure. There's vitamins in here, though, man.
Yeah, you got hydration and vitamins. Now it's time for beer.
Yeah. Oh, man, I drank too much over the weekend. Saturday night, lights were on type shit. Nobody was home type shit.
Sorry, like I told you, my buddy drinks Buchanan whiskey, but since he's Hispanic, it's called Bucana.
Bucana.
And you literally just pop the top off the sucker and let the dripper, you just Tabasco sauce that shit into your mouth until you don't want it anymore. And then you take a little sip of squirt, and then you do it again.
I'm 31.
Oh, you could do it.
I'll be 32. Oh, I could do anything.
I just don't want to. I'm going to meet you outside of the UC. We're going to tell Ren to turn around, and you're going to do a Bucana fountain.
I can't. I got to drive her home, motherfucker.
You got 2.5 hours to work it out.
I'm not even drinking. It's only Coca-Cola products for me on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever fucking day it is. It's only Coca-Cola products for me. No beer. Not with the baby. Can't do it. Not even one. Because I know if I have one, Ren and I are gonna have to Uber home, and I just don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have fucking 12, so I can't do it. But yeah, no, I got them beating the Clippers tonight. You feel the same way?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's ride this confident high and cry maybe Tuesday, Wednesday when it doesn't work out that way. That sounds like a lot more fun than being the pessimist right now because the Bulls are riding hot. I mean,
they're hot right now.
They're clicking at the right time and things are going well. So I ain't gonna shit on that unless they shit on it themselves, and then we'll cry about it together.
Absolutely. Any closing words before we get out of here, man?
Other than needing to see Pat Bev rock the cradle on Westbrook tonight, I'd like to see Zach keep that 30-point streak kind of alive. Let's stay hot. And I want a good game from Kobe because when he plays good, I get really excited. I don't know what it is about his swag and just the way
It's because you want to see Kobe succeed because he's the one guy left from the old regime. And I like Kobe White too, man. Kobe White.
Even after screaming fuck when we drafted him because I wanted Reddish, who obviously hasn't had the success expected either to this point of his career, it's impossible. I guess it's not impossible because Ramina has adamantly rooted against Kobe White for a long time. But it's really hard to not want that dude to succeed.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I want him to do well. So I hope he just continues to do well, and maybe he stays here for a little bit, and the Bulls keep him around because I would love that for that to happen.
I mean, you don't want Pat to be our only homegrown talent?
Everybody be sure going on tapsportsnet.com for all Chicago. No, I don't. I don't want him to be our only homegrown talent.
Does DT get minutes tonight? Caruso and Javante are out. So
yeah, absolutely. I guarantee DT gets in. Dalen Terry will get in this game at least 8 to 10 minutes. I'd be shocked if he doesn't. Honestly, I'd be shocked if he doesn't.
So then I want Dalen Terry at least 10 points.
In 10 minutes?
Hey, Drummond does it all the fucking time. I don't want excuses.
Oh, my God. All right. Everybody be sure to go to tapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap and on Tap Sportsnet. Following Goose at Goose on Tap and me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating review because that's cool and tough. Please, if you get the chance, go to the YouTube On Tap Sportsnet YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit the little bell. Anytime one of our podcasts at On Tap Sportsnet goes live, you will be notified. We're presented by Sports Illustrated Media Group. We'll see you on Wednesday night because that's a normal tip-off time after the Bulls take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's